What's up YouTube? This is Buckshot33 aka Boston Chris, back with a brand new video. It's been a little while since I made a video. It's been probably, I think it's been a week, maybe a little more, I don't know. Just kind of been busy with, just general life and, haven't had time to come on and make a video. I haven't answered any comments either, which is usually not like me. I'm usually pretty good at answering them back, so I will make sure to go ahead and answer those comments. I know that they're, in some cases, a week or more old, and so I apologize for that, but, with the baby coming and also with just new job and everything, it's just kind of still a feeling out process. I understand that, it takes a little bit of time, so I'm going to try to find a good rhythm to, make videos and, coincide with, what's going on as far as my life is concerned. So with that, let's just get into the books. So I have some new books I got from last week over the weekend, and a couple of packages that came in, so I'll go ahead and open those for you. So first we have Green Lanterns number 19. Really good DC Rebirth title. It's following the basically the growth of two brand new Lanterns. I like a story like this just because the fact is, they're not fully fleshed out heroes that have all the experience. You're watching them kind of grow, watching that hero's journey, seeing how they kind of grow as heroes, experience their powers, experience their challenges and how they come up against them, and then also see how they react to their mentors. So I think it's a really good story. I think it's a pretty good organically told story, as you see somebody kind of come into their own, kind of like I guess I would compare it to watching the journey of kind of like Luke Skywalker, where you see him from the farm boy to the pilot to the Jedi in training with Yoda, and then to once you get to Return of the Jedi, where he's actually a full out Jedi Knight with his own powers that can actually handle his own battle at this point. Like I think that's kind of how I would compare the two. Not exactly the same exact type of story, but the journey of it is what I'm alluding to with that. But next up we have Batman number 19. This is really good story. Another one of my favorite Rebirth titles. And this is a Tim Sale cover. So let me just, there we go. So this is a Tim Sale cover, and I like the way he does his art. Really cool stuff. In this story, that he's gonna end up. They've been leading. Oh, sorry, this is 18. I'm sorry, I said 19 for both of those. These are both issue number 18. There you go. And I've been, reading these through, and I like the way that they've, gone about it. It's leading into a fight with Bane. They've been kind of, Bane's been around for a while, and there hasn't been too many conflicts, too many, actual physical altercations between him and Batman. So I'm looking forward to seeing an actual, full-out fight between him and Batman, just to kind of, see if it's as, iconic as the, original one from, this original Batman comics from the 90s and stuff. So but definitely a great story. I like the way that they're doing this Batman. It's pretty cool. I like how they've changed up a couple of the other characters within the Batman universe to kind of make them give them a little different twist, but overall make them really just strong characters. Next we have Old Man Logan number 19, and so this one actually is a 19. But another good story. This is a really good one from the Marvel universe. They have a lot of books that I consider to be kind of just going through the motions, just kind of fluff style books that are popular because the character's popular, and people are just kind of, they're just mass producing them because it's just easy to do with popular characters. Old Man Logan actually has been a really good book, so I definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't yet. If you haven't yet to this point, I would say your best bet is probably to look for a trade, because they probably have the first few, probably at least the first 5 or first 10 issues in trades. Probably be a lot cheaper than going out and getting the single issues. But really cool story, and I'm also looking forward to see how they're gonna use him in X-Men Gold when that comes up. I know that he's been in the Uncanny X-Men, and I haven't been reading that because it's Uncanny X-Men's kind of taken a different kind of turn that I haven't been really a big fan of since Secret Wars. So I haven't been collecting it. I haven't been reading it. I've just been kind of reading his story because that I really do like. But we'll see what happens with X-Men Gold. X-Men Blue, I don't quite know if I'm going to get too into because the original X-Men, but from the alternate universe. So we'll have to check and look. We'll have to check and see and see how it goes. I'll probably listen to some reviews to see if it's any good. But all right, moving forward, we have Inhumans versus X-Men number 6. And this is a pretty cool cover. I like the way that this looks. So I've heard. I haven't read this yet, obviously, but I've heard that pretty significant ending to the story. Not quite the event that we were all hoping it would be. Kind of like how Death of X kind of was, looked at as they built it up like it's going to be this crazy major event, and then kind of just wasn't all that big. It was, more or less a checkpoint onto the next story. And I feel like this is the same exact thing. This is a checkpoint onto the next story. I don't think it was a bad series. I just don't think it didn't live up to the hype that was given to it. And, that's becoming kind of a common theme with Marvel miniseries. Secret Wars, I don't feel like lived up to the hype. Death of X did not live up to the hype, at least in my opinion. And this one, I don't think it's lived up to the hype because they hype it up so big. That doesn't mean that this is a bad story. Death of X, I don't think was really a strong story at all. That's just my opinion. And then Secret Wars was confusing. That's the best I can give you for that one. Secret Empire, which is the next big one that's going to be coming out. And I think that's going to be like the spring/summer event. Not quite sure how that's going to shake out either because there's already been rumblings that people aren't quite happy with the direction they're going with it, based on the fact that Magneto is now being cast as a member of Hydra, and I think also a lot of people are saying that he's a Nazi, which Hydra and the Nazis are not exactly one and the same. They're two different factions, and I think that basically when it comes down to that, Hydra more or less used the Nazis basically looking at it, whereas it's like they had a power position and it looked like they were going to win, so they kind of hitched their horse to that, or hitched themselves to that horse, and then when that didn't end up happening, they kind of broke away, let them kind of be dealt with, and continued on going forward. I think that it's weird to have Magneto join that just because he's a Holocaust survivor. Like, he was in the concentration camp. He was, a Jewish-born, Jewish-born German who basically ended up into a concentration camp. His parents were killed there, and so it's just kind of weird that he would kind of join up with something that's, I guess, linked in with the Nazis in World War II versus something that you would figure he'd want to stay away from that. So I don't know what they're gonna do, and I know that they're saying that a lot more people that you didn't know were Hydra are going to be revealed as Hydra agents. So it has a lot of potential to kind of fall on its face because there's going to be characters that people don't want to see as Hydra agents because either they're been heroes all along, kind of like Captain America, or there's just people that just kind of don't fit the mold, even though they want to make them into that. So we'll see. Finally, the last book of my pickup is Gwenpool number 13, and this is one of the Venomized covers. This is one of the variants. Not the end all be all of variants, because I know that there's other ones that are kind of sought after that are more expensive than this one. But I saw it in my local shop, and I like this one the most out of all of them, so I picked this one up. And I got it for cover price, which is also preferable in that, just because sometimes with the variants they get really expensive, and I'm not trying to pay a lot of money for or collect a whole bunch of books that I don't read. So I figured I would just take a chance, buy the one, and just so I can say I have my Venomized cover and go forward from there. So but definitely a cool look for it. So that was my haul. That's the stuff I picked up. And then we have a couple of packages. So I'm just going to go ahead and get right into those. Got my razor. And, you know, one of them, you know, let me see here, hold on. There we go. So this one, actually, thankfully, if you saw my last unboxing, it was in a, basically, plastic, you know, like, it was basically in a paper holder for, you know, a trapper keeper, basically. And the funny part about it was just that, you know, as I, you know, looked at it, I was like, you know, this is we shipped a book in. I can't believe that. So, you know, it kind of worked out, but, you know, I mean, the book was still in good condition, but it was just kind of funny. So, you know, this is a very huge step up from there, which is good. It's not quite, you know, the end all be all, like, oh man, like this is gonna be, you know, just stupendously packed and this and that, but, you know, it's okay. And so, what we have here is another piece of the Bronze Age here, and I have, so this is another book in a row, so I have basically 3 in a row of this series. So this is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 196. I have 195, I've shown that already, and I also have 194, which is the first. Well, 194 is the first cat, Black Cat, and then 195 is their second Black Cat. And this, I just like the cover, so I was like, you know what, I'll pick it up. Good price that I got for it, so pretty cool, nice book to have. And this one, this last one that I'm going to show off and unbox, is one of my top 10. And let me just go ahead and, because I always do that, so I'm going to go ahead and show off my top 10. So here's my list. And, you know, probably should have done this on a separate video, but like I said, since it's been so long, I'm going to go ahead and just put this out there. So I had said that, you know, I was expecting one on the JLS live show last Tuesday. I was expecting one of my top 10 books to come in later on in the week, and I had answered a couple of, you know, comments and said that as well. And so this ended up coming, so I'm happy to have it. Definitely happy to add it to my collection. Let me go ahead and take these off. And this one, actually, I was surprised that I won for the price I did. And I think it was just either people weren't awake, weren't looking at it, or just didn't want to take a chance on this. And you'll see why for a second. Just because it's understandable with this, just because the fact is it's not something that, you know, I just have to show you. So, alright, so, dropped it. Here we go. Alright, that should be everything there. Alright, we got a couple more pieces of tape that just... Alright, perfect. So, now I get all the tape off. Take a look at this. Ooh, that's nice. So you look at this book, and it looks really good. Like, you know, you can definitely see that, you know, it's in good condition, at least from the cover's perspective. I'll open it up and take a closer look later on. But, so, here we have Wolverine number 10, and as you can see, the big sign that is signed by Chris Claremont. And so what I was alluding to earlier was saying that, like, I think that people didn't take the chance on this because when it comes to a signature, I mean, you don't fully know unless you're there or you have a witness. You don't know if it's signed or not. I checked on the website, you know, Google and everything like that, and I looked up Chris Claremont's signature, and it looked pretty legit to me. So I just figured, you know what, it's a book that I want, and it's one of my top 10, and you know, the added bonus of getting it, you know, having it signed without having to go and get it signed is cool. So this one is just something that I'm actually really happy to add to my collection, and I got it for a good price. You know, nobody was really you know, battling for it, so I just kind of was able to swoop in and get it with no trouble. So you know, happy to add it to my collection, and I paid. I'm trying to see where it is here. So for this, you know, sign book, paid grand total of $21. So not too bad. But happy to add it to my collection. And so yeah, let me go ahead and do the ceremonial crossing off of the list. So this is now 3 of my top 10 that is gone. There you go. So Wolverine, Volume 1. Let's see, number 10. There we go. There's the check. So that's pretty cool. Happy to have another one off of the list. And you know, hopefully I can continue that trend going forward. But with that, I'm gonna get going. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, this has been Buckshot33, aka Boston Chris. Check us out tomorrow. We'll be live with JLS Comics on the Tuesday Comic Conversation, along with Justin from Exile State Comics and Edwin from Strictly Comics, and of course the host himself, Jesse from JLS Comics. So check us out tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be on talking about books and just chatting it up. So come on and join us. I want to thank you for watching again. Everybody have a great night. I'm out. If you're on the East Coast like me, stay safe from the snow. It's going to be a big storm coming tomorrow, and you know, so make sure you're safe, make sure you're prepared, and you know, everybody just you know, be prepared for a lot of snow. So that's it for me. I'm gonna get going. You know, be safe in the snow for everybody who's involved in the storm, and have a great night. Thank you. Have a good one.